Hi there, Tad Hargrave from marketingforhippies.com. Today's video is about individual solutions to institutional problems. It's one of the challenges with the personal growth scene, with the coaching scene, is when it's handled carelessly, it can locate all of the onus of responsibility on the individual and not on what's happening in collective society. So many of the problems we have, there's a history of racism, of colonization, of, on and on, all the isms and all the troubles that have happened over the generations that have led to the situations that we're in that make the problems we have almost inevitable that they occur. And that responsibility for the problems has been atomized down to the level of the individual, where suddenly it's Smokey the Bear saying only you can prevent forest fires, when forest fires are actually created for a number of reasons, but one of them is bad forestry practices from industry, not individuals. So while the individual work is important, it's certainly not sufficient. Having said that, it's really important to acknowledge too that the government is not going to save you. The corporations are certainly not going to save you. The elite of the world don't give a shit. They're not going to save you. So, and most of the public are not going to save you either. Most of your community and friends aren't going to save you because they're just as much under the spell and in cahoots with the whole thing. So even though it's not really our fault that we live in these things, the locus of power is in us. Not the locus of fault, not the locus of blame, not the locus of cause. Those are much bigger. But our capacity to respond, our responsibility is found here. Our real power to do something about it is found in here. So that's also true. But trying to address these collective issues individually, it's not a good setup. That's a rough setup. It's hard to do. So if you are doing it, and you probably are, given the shape that society's in, bravo. But as we're working with our clients, I just think it's important to name and affirm that the reason they're struggling is not a lack of discipline, not a lack of clarity sometimes, not a lack of effort. It's often a lack of a supportive structure that they live within. When there's a single parent who's losing their mind, trying to raise kids on their own, it's good to work on emotional regulation and communication skills, but I tell you what would help that parent more is childcare, is a village to help them raise their children. That would be much more useful for them. So there's a few books I'd recommend on this, because yes, we can do the individual work, but there's also people out there doing the collective work, and we can partner with and support them in various ways. So there's a book called Give to Profit by Alison McKenzie, Alison, Alison McKenzie. There's another book called Marketing That Matters, which is probably out of print, but you can still find a copy. And those two books, I think, are really fantastic at helping you think about how can you run your business and market your business in a way that is also doing good in the world, in a practical way of creating shifts, lifting up and supporting other people doing good work that aren't in business, but might be doing projects or nonprofits or charities. And of course, just, everyone go easy on yourself. If you are struggling personally in the insanity of these times, it's the insanity of the times primarily. I mean, nobody's coming to save you, so take care of yourself. But don't imagine that this work in here is necessarily sufficient. We're all dealing with so much. And one of the worst things we can do is gaslight ourselves on top of it all and beat ourselves up for not being healthier, happier, stronger in the face of the immense adversity. So yes, let's stay strong. Let's get happy and healthy. Let's do all that work that we can. But if we struggle, let's not beat ourselves up for struggling in the face of it all. Thank you for the work that you're doing out there, whether you're doing work on the individual or the collective level. But it just felt important to make this distinction, that this is primarily what we have in the personal growth world, is the pitching of individual solutions to institutional problems. And if you can acknowledge, as you're supporting people on their individual issues, if you can acknowledge the institutional causes, you will gain much more credibility, it will express much more empathy, and it will also open the doors to collaborations you could make with people working on the institutional causes, which could also get you more clients, get you a return on investment, while also advancing the mission and work of this project that you so admire. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. It's a big topic, but perhaps you've got some perspective that I don't have. Please throw it in the chats, and if you like this video, please share it, comment on it, like it, tell everybody you've ever met about it, and check me out, marketingforhippies.com. Thank you so much for stopping by.